All right, great, really good win for us today. I thought we did a lot of good things out there. Did things we still need to clean up, still a little sloppy in certain areas, and, always get better. A couple penalties on offense, a couple MAs that hurt us on some drives offensively. Obviously, turning the ball over is not a good thing offensively. But, defensively, 11 guys running the ball really hard. I thought we did a really good job stopping the run. Playing great defense. We created a bunch of turnovers. Still gave up a couple. We had a couple situations we need to be better at. We had them in some 3rd and longs. Gave a first down, a 2nd and long penalty. Just being aware of your situation. Hey, you get 2nd and 27. We'll give you a 10-yard gain and get you to 3rd and 17. Still plus us. So just a little situational football to be aware of that. Great win for us. 2-0 in the SEC East, which is where you want to be at this point in the season. Good thing about being 4-0, you got a chance to go to 5-0. So we'll enjoy this win tonight, especially. Really nice day. Last week I got home at 4 o'clock. This week, hopefully, I'll get home at 4 o'clock. Just it's p.m. instead of a.m. And get to go enjoy my family a little bit and get ready to roll and get in bright and early and get ready for Towson tomorrow.
Trask throws for nearly 300 yards. He did have the 3 turnovers, but what were your overall impressions of how he played?
I thought he played solid. You know what I mean? Even both interceptions. Kind of threw and covered, but kind of threw to guys. It wasn't like he threw to a guy that and hit a defender in the chest. He took a shot on 2 plays, gave receivers a chance. You got to make good decisions into taking those chances. But I thought he really managed the game well. I thought he was sharp. Good decisions all day long. The fumble, that's just one. He's trying to hold the ball, make a play. Just, hey, it's not there, burn it, play the next play. But, that comes with experience. But overall, I thought he played really well.
What stood out the most, I guess, about, the performance for him? Just the one quality you liked the best?
I thought he was relaxed. You never know. He hasn't been in that situation before in a long time. And, I kind of was always joking with him, make sure you're having fun. Right? While we're out there, you've prepared for this. You prepared the right way. Make sure you have fun, right? I told him, I said, my normal deal. If you're really nervous, we can fix the nervous problem. Go out there, throw a bunch of picks, and play terrible, and you don't have to be nervous. You won't play anymore. We'll fix that problem. So you might as well relax and go have fun. And, but I think he prepared the right way. He's been preparing the right way. And so he got his opportunity. And now it's kind of what I would have expected, similar to what I expected last week. I wasn't shocked last week with his performance, and I'm not shocked with his performance this week.
Is it shocking that he hasn't started a game since he was 14 now?
That's kind of crazy whole deal, but he's had an interesting career. But you know what? Give him a lot of credit for just preparing himself the right way, and not worried about. It's something I talk about all the time, and maybe it's easier. I'm older and I'm a coach. People are like, oh, you're a head coach at Florida, so of course you say this. Worry about what's important. Worry about, are you getting better? Are you prepared? Are you ready for the moment? Am I better today than I was yesterday? Worry about the next play. The only play that matters is the next play. And don't worry about all the other things, the what ifs, what if. Just worry about, am I prepared? And he did that, and I think he was I don't remember his high school career from what I know about it. He was always ready, played a bunch, came in, made big plays. When his number was called, he was ready to go. And he's done that since the day I got in here for us as well.
What was it that ticked you off so much when you were called timeout and we're getting?
We were going to get a delay of game. We were moseying out there on the field. We're all standing over the ball. You know what I mean? After a kickoff, the play clock runs. Where's our first possession in the second half? We called the play coming out of we called the play before we left the locker room. This is what, because they were going to have the win and their kid was going to kick. I guess the only way that we wouldn't have been able to have the play called, exactly would have had to flip the hash or something if they had to punt or it was a turnover. We got the ball on the other hash. We're going to put the ball in this hash, run this play. And I was like, so.
Okay, are
a
you
bunch
done
of
with
things
that
tick me. I'm trying to have a nice afternoon, and you bring up all the things that are going to tick me off.
Well, let me bring up another one.
Oh, thanks.
The turnovers you guys have had in these 3 big games for you guys, it's got to be disarming.
Well, the fumble, I go to the fumbles. The interceptions I'm okay with. Those are very coachable moments, decision-making moments. Like I said, I'm upset at an interception if he throws and the ball hits a DB in the chest. Didn't you know he was standing there? You know, you're throwing a corner route and they're in two-man. He throws the corner. Curl doesn't get a lot of separation. Kid undercuts it, does a nice job. Throw it just a little bit short, gets it. You know, he throws a go route. Trey slides inside against one high. He stares it down a little too long to give the safety a chance to get over the top. Okay, we can fix those. You know, it's not like, hey, I just kind of threw it into coverage. I threw it blindly. The fumbles, though, fumbles not good. We got to get those fixed. You know what I mean? You can take care of that. I mean, it wasn't like any of them were like this ridiculous hit or, you know, we're kind of off balance or one of those. We got to just protect the football when we have it in our hands.
And lastly, at the end of the half, when you went forward there on the last play of the half.
Heck, we're, you know, it's not like the ball was at the 3. You know? Made it harder on me, right? I mean, so the ball was about like that far. I thought he was in the play before. You know, and then they mark it there, and you know what? We'll put it on the O-line. You know, we're asking them to grow. We're asking them to continue to grow and get better from week to week. It's a young group. When they came over, I said, we're putting it on you. We're going to run it. Not going to try anything silly. Not going to try any trick play. We're going to run the ball. We're going to slam it away, and you guys are going to find a way to get us that loud. You got to go get an inch. You got to be able to do that. When we need it, you got to go do it. We put it on them, and they did it.
Mike, over to the right.
Yeah, Coach, back to Kyle. He never, ever, ever came to you about, hey, maybe I should transfer you. Anything?
I kind of went to him. It would always been a conversation. You know, like we have conversation. Where are you at in your career? What can we do? You know, where are your thoughts? Where's your mind at? When are you graduating? I mean, all these meetings, like, you know, kind of not football, like life plans. But, you know, and that for him is, hey, I'm graduating in the summer, and what are the plans, you know, in grad school? You know, want to go to grad school, want to do that. Okay, you know, as he say, hey, I want the opportunity to win the starting job in training camp. But you're going to get all the reps that you can get. And great. You know, I don't think he could ever complain for the number of reps he's gotten in spring ball and training camp and in his preparation. So, and I thought, you know, for him, you ask him, I've always thought he's been treated we've tried to treat him really well, give him every opportunity, prepare him, continue to grow, develop, and then all of a sudden your number's called and you can see that it's translated that he was prepared for that one moment when his number was called.
Do some players play better with the lights come on?
Yeah, some guys do. Some guys do. I'm not a big believer in it because I think it's, you can also then hey coach, I'm good when the lights come on, you're hard to trust. You know what I mean? 'Cause that means you mess up all the time in practice or you don't do it right consistently and it's, you know, is it the lights on? Am I going to make the spectacular play or am I going to go the wrong way? You know, those are things that worry you. I want guys that are consistently performing at an extremely high level.
Robbie?
What kind of a mismatch problem is Kyle Pitts? I mean, you really went to him today.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'll be honest with you. We ran our offense today. I mean, if you look, we spread the ball around to different receivers. You know, we try to take what the defense gives us. We have a really good receiving core. We have depth at the receiving core and veteran experienced guys, so we lean on them a little bit. We're a little young on the O-line, and you know what? I think one huge key to the game was how good we played defensively, allowed us to not have to give up on the running game, allowed us to stick and keep running the ball. I mean, you're not going to walk out of there and say, boy, we really ran the ball well. But because how we were playing defensively, we were able to stick with it and, you know, end up, I mean, right? I mean, I don't know this, but I remember this as like a ridiculous stat. Like whoever rushes for more yards in the Florida-Tennessee games wins the game 98% of the time. And we rushed for more yards. So that was a big deal when I was here before. Is that like held through that extension in between? I think we rushed for more yards last year and this year, so I picked up right where he left off.
And Elam started the game. How far has he come since
Well, I think he's grown. I think it shows his maturity to be in that situation. Obviously, we had a bunch of guys injured. It was going to be a concern, you know, so hopefully, you know, over we start getting all these guys back. Hopefully we got out today. Hopefully we're a little bit healthy getting out of today. I haven't got the report yet. But moving forward now, I mean, we got to hopefully can't wait. You get a game where we get our starters out there on the field. You know, we've lost a bunch of guys to season-ending injuries, but just the knickknacks of, you know, no Zuniga, no C.J. Henderson, right? No Kadarius Toney. I mean, obviously, you know, I mean, just the guys that have been banged up. Who else didn't play today? Yeah, Zuniga. Miller got banged up early in the game. Hopefully he'll be okay moving forward. You know what I mean? when you're a young team and you're like, okay, and in today's world, you're going to be fortunate to have a really experienced veteran roster top to bottom in for us. That'll be interesting when that would happen. So when that's the case, you really hurt. Injuries are big, but guys have stepped up and made plays.
Cassie over here to the left, and then Gene. Cassie.
After that first drive that ended in the Pitts touchdown, efficient. I think it took just a little over 2 minutes. But you pulled Kyle Trask and Emery over, talked to them the entire commercial break. What were you going over with them?
Just the drive and the reads, when they come off. Hey, what did you see? This is what happened. I thought great read by Kyle. I thought they were trying, especially early in the game, really trying to give some different looks, some opposite coverages, show one thing and play something else, but do it opposite of what they'd shown us on film. What you want to do when you have a newer quarterback starting, to really kind of give a look where he thinks, okay, they're playing this look, here's where I'm going, and you get there and, that's not it, and now I'm getting hit, and now I'm getting kind of a little bit shaken. I thought he did a really good job with his reads in that first drive and managing and taking what they're giving us. I'm like, okay, I'm even on the sidelines, okay, he's going here with the ball. They rolled it completely different than what they've shown. Didn't phase him. Then he went to where he should have gone with the ball.
Gene over to the right.
Dan, you said last week that you weren't, because Kyle got so hot, you weren't able to get Emery in there.
Yeah.
Did the rotation today go pretty much as you had pre-planned in your mind before the game?
Yeah, once or twice. What I'd like to get maybe Emery in once or twice more early. I got to grab him and get used to it because everybody's not used to that. Emery, I'm like, hey, where's Emery? When he's standing right next to me, and I'm like, okay, we want to run this now. He's standing right next to me. You go throw him in, and like there was once or twice. I'm like, hey, get over here. Make sure you're next to me, because there's that play clock's clicking and ticking, and there's not tons of time. But I was really happy. Both guys got to get in. I think both guys played fairly well, made some good plays, good decisions while we're in there. Both led us touchdown drives, and I thought, really managed the game well.
Over to the left, and then Mark here.
Dan, your quarterback resume well documented at this point. What's the number one thing you instill in every guy that's played for you?
Well, I think the one thing you see, I think everybody loves to get into, boy, what's the prototypical quarterback in our offense? And I always tell you this, it's a winner first, right? It's guys that have mental, physical toughness that are winners, that are great leaders and good decision makers. That's the most important thing. It's not, hey, they got to be a runner, they got to be a thrower, they got to be this size, they got to be this fast. None of that really matters to me. It's the other thing. And then I think, with our staff, how we set up our program, how we coach and how we teach, it's set up to really, we try to base a lot around the development of the quarterback and how we install, how we teach, how we practice, how we do that stuff. And, so if you find guys that are, mentally and physically tough, that are smart, good decision makers, have good leadership skills, and have that kind of it factor to win, and can lead their teammates and play with that juice and energy, then we try to coach them and teach them really well, and then we really try to put them in positions to be successful schematically.
Mark, and then
Monster game from Grenard. Where would this defense be without him? I think he had a sack and 3 pass defense.
Well, you just look how thin we are right now. He did a great job. We had a bunch. I saw a bunch of tip balls over there. I think Todd, the staff, did a great job. I wasn't on with them as much as I normally am. I think just today with with Emery and Kyle and on there with the offensive staff, just making sure we're organized exactly what we're doing. Instead of, hey, we're getting this, and clicking over to defense. What are we doing? Let's get this stuff organized and clicking over to defense. We're playing well on defense. I kind of let them alone.
Will over to the right.
Hey, Dan, what enabled Kyle to have so much success with slants and posts, particularly up the middle? Of the field?
I just think making the reads, you know what I mean, and not forcing the ball where it doesn't need to go. They're showing us a bunch of different coverages tonight. They're showing us today. This morning, whatever it is. They're playing man zone, 1 high, 2 high, and I just think his decision making, of getting to the right read and getting there on time, because a lot of those are timing routes, and if you're late getting there, it's not good. Of getting the read, reading the defense, making the throw, and and then I think the other good thing is we have when you have some veteran wide receivers, boy, they can help the quarterback out. You know what I mean? When it's not like, hey, we got one guy to go to and they're going to double him. We can roll some guys through. We stay fresh. Those guys know where to be, know how to get open, and he can trust that, hey, if I can go, whatever read you're going to give me, I can go to that guy. I can trust he's going to get into the right spot to run the route the right way.
what do you think of him when he was under pressure? What kind of his maturity in the pocket? What does that kind of do for you as a
I
play
thought
caller?
pretty good. I thought pretty good. I'll go watch it. You know, I mean, like I said, the one or two times, just decisions. Hey, it's not there. Just burn it. Play the next play. That's hard to, you know. I mean, that's hard for any. I mean, that's hard. Guys want to make plays. I mean, guys want to think, hey, I can do it. I can do it. I mean, his 2 throws, hey, 2 interceptions. You know, he was like, oh, I know what was going on. I thought I could get it in there. I'm like, okay. You know, I mean, it's better than, hey, I don't know what was going on. I'm like, what do you mean that they were in this coverage? You know, but I thought overall decision-making, he was very good at night, and even under pressure of just, hey, when to just burn it, when to put it away, you know, when to take, don't make a bad situation, make it worse.
We have 2 over here, Coach Friend, personally here.
Dan, would you talk about with Kyle the things that you don't see in the stats, such as his interaction with you on the sideline and telling you what he's seeing and so forth like that, command of the huddle, things like that?
That's great. I think a lot of it. I think one, you know, and I mean, just great communication. Brian does such a great job with those guys because I am on with defense sometimes. Hey, we'll talk about things, but you know, I mean, Brian, Brian's going to, as soon as they come off, going to go through everything that happened on the drive, listen to what they said. Brian, you know, like I said, Brian calls a bunch of plays during the game because sometimes, you know, I'm over there and he's like, hey, you know, he's having the conversation. I like this call here, and you know, I mean, the great thing we have with what we do, I kind of get input from everybody in between the series, write some things down. But Brian will be like, hey, run this right now. I'm like, all right, call it. Huh? You know, we have that kind of going. And sometimes I'll say call it. Sometimes I've already got something else planned and I'll call it. But I think that working and making sure we're doing things that the quarterbacks are comfortable with are huge. And I think, you know, the way we rep everybody and how Kyle's worked, you know, since we've gotten here, I think the players have a lot of confidence in him. So, I mean, pretty easy when he steps in the huddle, like he's got control of it because they have confidence in him.
We're here, Coach.
Yeah, general impression of Tennessee after playing them 2 years in a row.
You know, I think one thing. I think they're a young team trying to build. You know, the one thing that you try to do, they have some young players they're playing with out there on the field, and you can see they have some talented young guys. One of the things we try to do schematically is take their young guys and put them in tough situations and put pressure on them. Kind of the flip of maybe what they tried to do in Kyle, you know, with Kyle, where they're going to try to disguise and show opposite things and show some different coverages they haven't shown. We're also going to try to get their young guys and try to isolate their young guys and put them in hard managed situations, which is tough to do. But they do have some good talented young players, and you know, I think you see they brought. You know, they played 2 quarterbacks today, and you know, the young guy came in. Brian came in, made some good throws. You know, as soon as he was in, I was on top of, hey, you know, they got the young guy in. Let's kind of change it a little bit up, and don't give him easy throws. Don't give him something to get into rhythm. But you know, I think they're building for the future.
I'm going to pull Coach off to the side. We got